So you're back, huh? Let's pick up from where we left off, shall we? So I'm still trapped in the dark, cramped hole. I could feel the rat gnawing at my edges. With every bite, my corners felt weaker and weaker. This is the end, I remember telling you. I thought this was actually it. No more shiny cash registers for me, or even curious fingers flipping me over. Just then, a loud scuffling sound echoed in the hall. The rat froze, its beady eyes gleaming in fear. Out of nowhere, a large creature, a stray cat perhaps, plunged its paws into the hole. The rat squealed and scampered off, leaving me crumpled and half-chewed, but free from its grasp, thank God. With its paws, the cat pulled me out of the darkness in an attempt to reach the rat. I got stuck on that muddy, sticky paw. It then ran off outside and tossed me aside in a heap of trash. I lay crumpled in the trash heap outside, barely recognizable as the proud, crisp dollar that I once was. The sky opened up, and soon enough, as you guessed it, raindrops began to fall, soaking me through and through. The wet and cold crept into my fibers, loosening whatever strength I had left. As the rain intensified, I was carried along by the rush of draining water, swallowing through mud and debris. You cannot imagine the agony. I then tumbled through the muck, carried further down the street until snap! I got wedged beneath a stubborn twig jutting from a storm drain. Is this it? Is this the end of the journey? I wondered. Just as I began to accept my fate, I felt a gentle tug. An old woman dressed in a raincoat and holding an umbrella picked me up with delicate fingers, squinting at my drenched, tattered frame. "Ah, this is still good enough for the offering plate," she said to herself, smoothing me out as best as she could. I found myself tucked safely into her purse, warm and dry again as she shuffled off towards a nearby church, if that was it. As we entered, the air was filled with the sweet sound of harmonious melodies, hymns rising in waves around me. For a moment, I thought this must be it. I've seen everything now, it's time for my final rest. But no, life had one more twist for me. At the offering time, the old woman placed me gently into a basket that made its way down the rows of faithful hands. As I settled into the pile of bills, I glanced around and spotted familiar faces. Other worn-out bills just like me, torn, faded but still valuable. Some had been my companions before, passing through the same hands, enduring the same rough treatments. Well, well, look who it is, whispered a $5 note. Its ink smudged but still recognizable. Thought you were done for. You and me both, I muttered, feeling a strange sense of comfort in their company. Oh, my long friends. As the basket was carried away, we exchanged glances, wondering what was next for us. Perhaps we'd be taken to a bank, maybe tossed into a donation fund, or sent back out into the wild to circulate again. Whatever it was, one thing was certain: our lives were far from over. We were part of a cycle, always moving, always changing, never truly resting. And with that, we left our fate hanging in the balance, knowing we'd soon find ourselves back in the hands of yet another story, another chapter in this never-ending life as a dollar.